Hey AllyCats! Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to AllyCat Beauty. My name is Ally, and I'm here just trying to figure out this whole beauty game with all of you. Happy Halloween, first of all, and second of all, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to create this makeup look today. It is inspired by Tendi from Star Trek Lower Decks. So, without further ado, let's get started, AllyCats! Alrighty, AllyCats, so we are a little more zoomed in, obviously because we are going to be focusing on the eyeshadow tutorial. This is a Tendi-inspired tutorial from the show Star Trek Lower Decks. So I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes with my concealer. I'm just using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. For those of you who don't know what Tendi looks like, I will go ahead and put a picture of her up. So obviously she is an alien on Star Trek Lower Decks. She's not a human and she is green, so this is going to be a green inspired look. So now that my eyes are primed, I'm gonna go in with my BH Cosmetics Trendy in Tokyo palette. You can use any palette you want as long as you have a dark green, a lighter green, or a yellowish green shimmer, and then a blue, royal blue matte or a shimmer, depending on how it applies. So I'm going to take this BH Cosmetics angled brush and go into the shade Bamboo, which is this green shade right here. I'm just going to lightly tap in and tap off the excess and make kind of an angle. Now with this shade, I know that I need to build it up a lot. So I'm just doing this to map out where the shadow is gonna go. And then as I keep adding and adding, it'll just get more and more pigmented. And I'm bringing that in with what's left over on my brush all the way in to the corner, but it's not much left on my brush, so it's very light on there. And I essentially map it out so I have my V and then in the crease as well. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in this corner. And I'm going to go about a third of the way onto my eyelid. I'm just going to keep packing that pigment on until it gets to the color that I desire. And then I'm also going to take my Farah blender brush and I'm just going to blend the edges a tiny bit so that it's not too harsh of a line. And since I did buff that color out a little, I did lose some of that pigmentation. So again, I'm gonna go back in with that same brush and just build it up a tiny bit more. Also, if you hear a clicking noise in the past few moments of this tutorial, I forgot to turn the autofocus off on my camera, so that's the lens autofocusing, but from now on you shouldn't hear it. Anyway, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this flatter shader brush from Coca-Cola by Morphe, and I'm gonna go into the shade Wasabi, which is this greenish, yellowish shimmer down here. And I'm going to take that on both sides of the brush, a good amount of product, and I'm going to take my e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set setting spray. I'm just going to spray once on each side of the brush, and we're going to use this all over my lid. So for those of you who don't know, I do a podcast with my friend Erin, and it's called Ally, Erin, and the Multiverse. And that's where we were watching Star Trek Lower Decks, and we did a podcast for each episode, and we thought it would be a really fun way to combine my channel and the podcast channel and do an Instagram live where I taught Erin how to do this makeup look because she knows a lot more about Star Trek than I do. I just got into it, so the tables were turned in a sense where I was teaching her how to do makeup and she, throughout the podcast, was teaching me more about Star Trek and that whole universe. So I'm just gonna do the same thing again for the other eye. And like I said, we're just going all over the lid to get that shadow on there. Even going over that green a little because we are going to blend it in. Awesome. So now that that is done, I'm going to set that brush aside, go back in with the angled crease brush back into that green shade Bamboo, and just blend in this deeper green with the lighter green that we just put on. So that gives it almost like a nice ombre tone to it, so it doesn't look like a sharp, harsh line. And if you want, you can even go in again with just the excess of what's on that brush and go into the outer corner again. So now what we're gonna do is move on to the lower lash line. So for the lower lash line, I'm gonna take this BH Cosmetics, more of a pencil brush. It's got a more pointed tip and it's a lot more precise. And I'm gonna go into the shade Electric, which is this one right here. It's this dark blue, and this one's actually a shimmer. It blends out very nicely though, so it works well for me on my lower lash line. But if you're afraid to use a shimmer on your lower lash line, go ahead and just use a blue matte. And I'm gonna just wet the brush a tiny bit and bring it as close as I can to my lash line. And I'm also gonna bring it up just a tiny bit with whatever's left on the brush into that green so it blends out a little, but not too much. Almost like a little bit of a wing. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. And if you want to deepen it up a little bit, you can even go in more. Perfect, so that's pretty much all of the eyeshadow. I will do a close-up of it when I have the eyeliner and mascara on as well. So we did the live a few days ago, and I just thought it would be great to get this tutorial up as well for anyone who wanted to follow along and just have a quick and easy tutorial, especially because it is Halloween, so you can definitely do this look for your Halloween parties if you're going to any this year. I know, we're in lockdown still in a lot of places, but a virtual Halloween party, this is an awesome makeup look. It comes over great over Zoom. I have worn this over on Zoom calls before, so I know that it looks pretty good. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the eyeliner. Now Tendi has a little flick on her animation, so that's what inspired this liquid eyeliner. I am gonna go in with my Illamasqua liquid eyeliner in black. This is one of my favorite eyeliners. It goes on so easy over eyeshadow, and it comes out super black as well, which is why I love it. So for the wing, what I'm gonna do is just follow my lower lash line and just do a small little flick on this first side, and then I'm gonna essentially tight line my top lash line to get that line going all the way across. And as you saw, as I was getting more to the inner corner, I did open my eye to finish that up. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect this wing with this line. So I go very slowly at first because it's such a small wing that I don't want to mess it up. And if I do mess it up, then I'm going to have to keep going thicker and thicker, and that's not what I want. So I just slowly connected the dots, and now I have that wing. It's a little hard to see because the eyeshadow is dark, but I'll try and do a close-up of it as well. So let me go ahead and finish the other side. I'll do my mascara and then I'll come back for the inner corner highlight. Alrighty, I'm back and I'm ready for my inner corner highlight. So for this, I am going to take a very small brush from Eco Tools, and I'm going to go in with my REALHER Confidence in My Glow highlighter. This one is a really nice rose gold, so I'm just sticking that right in the middle. And if you want it to pop even more, then you can go ahead and wet your brush as well. But to be honest, this glows pretty well on its own, so I'm happy with that. And then I'm going to take my illuminator brush from Bogashi to get my brow bone. You can just see like how glowing that already is. And if you hadn't noticed, I did have my base done before I started the eyeshadow, but I didn't do my highlighter yet. So I'm going to go in with my SL Miss Glam tapered face brush and just do that on my cheekbones and kind of bring it up and around. And also on my nose. And now you can just see that highlight so well. Love this highlight. And now for the lips, since Tendi is more of a natural beauty, doesn't seem to wear too much makeup, and we already have a lot going on with the eyes, I wanted to stick with a neutral lip. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my Makiage Natural Moisturizing Lip Liner in brown. And then I'm going to start by going in with my Uemura MBG954 Rouge Unlimited Matte. So this is more of a pinky tone. I like to use it as a base because it really moisturizes my lips. And it keeps them from flaking all day. But for this look, I do want it to be more of a neutral brown. So I'm going to top that with my Melt Makeup Ultra Matte Lipstick in Voyeur. And that just neutralizes the pinky tone from the Uemura, but I still get those moisturizing effects as well. Now, if you want, you can also go in over top with a gloss. So I'm gonna just give it that extra shine with my Coca-Cola by Morphe gloss in, what is this one called? This one's called Overflow. So in the live, I went in with a brown gloss. Today, I'm gonna go in with this more clear white gloss, and I'm going to take it on my finger so that I don't dye the brush, and I'm just going to tap it on, and it just gives that extra little shine that we all love. And the absolute final step is setting spray. So I'm going to go ahead and set my face with this, and then I will show you guys a zoomed in close-up. So this is a close-up of the eyes. Alrighty, AllyCats, so this is the final look. And I do want to note that I am also wearing, again, my Bazinga shirt from The Big Bang Theory, because that is the closest thing that I have to anything related to Star Trek. If you don't know The Big Bang Theory, they talk a lot about Star Trek on there. Will Wheaton is also on there sometimes. So I decided to wear this shirt to kind of relate to the Star Trek theme that we're going with today. Alrighty, AllyCats, so you can see the Bazinga shirt much better from this view, but I hope you all have a safe and happy Halloween. That is it for this Tendi-inspired makeup tutorial. Stay tuned because Erin and I will be doing more Star Trek Lower Decks inspired tutorials. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and if you want to get a notification every time I upload a new video, go ahead and ring that bell as well. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at AllyCatBeauty. And remember, beauty radiates from within, so don't forget to be confident and be you. See you later, AllyCats!